Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them, and I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We are continuing our run of X-Men, and we are looking at the Uncanny X-Men 230 from 1988. This is a Christmas story. I have a playlist started with Giant Size X-Men #1, and we are in current. Everything's done in reading order. I have an X Universe where I put everything in there. I have a New Mutants. I have X Factor, Wolverine, you name it, I got it in there. So feel free to check that out. So we have Longshot here, and he's fighting ghosts. And we are going to see inside what's up. And you see all this treasure. That is important. Marc Silvestri and Joseph Rubinstein, or Stein, are doing the cover here. So, all right. So, Twas the Night. And we have Storm in her brand new costume. So, this begins the white uniform that she will wear pretty much for the rest of the Chris Claremont era, and then even going into the after Claremont with Will Spertasio and Jim Lee. And so she's so happy to be able to fly again. Same creative team as always, except for the inker. Chris Claremont is our writer. Marc Silvestri pencils. Joseph Rubinstein is the guest inker. Dan Green will be back. I love this little bit of dry brush here. Glynis Oliver, colorist. Thomas Zakowski deserves an multiple awards for having to letter so much. And Ascenti and Tom DeFalco continue with the editorial. So, all right. And so, while Storm is flying, Madeline Pryor is going to test out their new facility. She's using the Reavers' headquarters here, because that's where the X-Men are. And so this is after, of course, Fall of the Mutants, and this begins the Outback era. So she's saying she is able to use all the computers to be able to scan her and see stuff. So now the X-Men are going to kind of do a danger room session in the middle here to try and test the defenses. So first comes Rogue. I'm simply going to narrate this part because it's just action and just stuff for Chris Claremont to be able to put exposition on it. Havoc hits her, Psylocke possesses her, and Dazzler is able to shoot her. Colossus catches her, but then tosses her, and then Wolverine pops his claws and says, "You lose." And of course, always his comment, "And if I pop my center claw." So, Madeline Pryor says it's fantastic. The system worked perfectly. And so here she says, "Finally, I'm contributing to the team, pulling my own weight. Nice to discover at long last that I still have worth to the X-Men as much to myself. The Marauders may have stolen my baby, but by heavens, no matter how long it takes or what it costs, I mean to get him back and make that swine pay. Who stole him pay. And pay they shall." And I like this part here, but that's a story from another day. And that day will be Inferno. So, Madeline got everything they needed, and Wolverine helps her up. Meanwhile, they ask where's Longshot. So Longshot's like in these catacombs here, and he hears these voices, and he's being drawn to this door. And so he kicks it, and you can see he's shocked here. It says soaring Spitfires, which of course it is exactly what they see. And this is all the stuff from the treasures that the Reavers have robbed. Now, here's a funny thing, and I made comment of it when I did the video for X-Men 229. The Reavers, what the hell did they need? Why did they keep? I don't know. It just like, look at this. They have all this loot. What the hell do they need more loot for? So these are kind of like spirits or so that's attached to this jewelry here, and so they're going to, Longshot touches it, and of course he's gonna get visions of where this bracelet came from, and he feels like he's being tormented. He's like, I didn't do this. And they just want to, go back to where they came from. And Longshot's like, so many voices, so great a need. Please, you're hurting me. It's more than I can bear. And so, the next day, Dazzler realizes that, this place is a mess. And then she screams, Colossus comes through the wall, and she's like, something moved under my bed, and he goes through, and it's just this thing. She's like, gross. And so they decide that they're going to need to clean this place, because she's like, this place is a dump. Wolverine agrees. And so Storm says, we're not going to spend all our time cleaning this place. So she creates like a big rainstorm, floods the place so that all that junk goes through. Colossus catches Dazzler here, gets all the junk in the center, and of course Havoc is going to use his power and melt it. Meanwhile, Gateway just watches. And so Rogue says, that it's super hot, even hotter than it was in Louisiana. And can't believe Gateway just sits there. Wolverine, of course, says this is his land. We need to prove that we belong there. So Rogue goes to see him. He says, man, he's got to be lonely. And she says, I don't mean to be a bother, but I thought maybe you'd want some food. Hope you like it. My name is Rogue. And so it says here later, Dazzler comes out after a shower here, and Betsy and Maddie are sitting with Longshot, and they're like, what's going on? And he says, he's happy to see her, and he explains to them all about the jewelry here. Wolverine's like, what? And so he says they want to go home, and so they're like, that's not possible. Treasure doesn't do that. And of course, they're going to send Rogue to go grab a piece. And so Rogue comes back, and Psylocke uses her... she's going to have a change of uniform coming up, too. She uses her psychic powers here and is able to see that the treasure is indeed, possessed or whatever, wanton thing. And the Reavers here stole it here. And so everybody's like, oh, that's terrible here. And so they want to return it. Here Wolverine and Havoc are having a little argument. Wolverine calls him boy. He's like, I'm not a boy, mister. And he's like, could have fooled me. So they're going to return it, and they're like, how the heck are we going to do this? But, it's there's a lot of morality being put in. We all know. Love the inking job. Want to just comment that real quick here. And so they're going to go through this treasure here, and little by little, they are going to put it in piles, each one for a continent, and then a seventh one that there's no spirits on it. They can't get it back to the owners. So they are going to get everything going to where it's supposed to go. And so they talk to Gateway, and he is going to do it. And they're like, how does he know where to go? And she's like, we're gonna link with Gateway. And so off we go. And so the X-Men are basically going to deliver all this stuff everywhere. You can see that they leave it here and all that. Even the Christmas thing here. And they're like, oh, it's a miracle. They're giving it away here in Salem Center. The You see Magneto. Is this Lee Forrester? And the New Mutants are here. This is supposed to be Warlock here. And so the X-Men are still going to choose to remain hidden here, and they're going to go sing some the New Mutants are going to go sing some Christmas carols. And so Chris Claremont lets us know about, continue the season of peace. And here the wanted X-Men, and this kid is spray painting, and of course he's spray painting the X-Men live. And so here's I love this with Wolverine just lighting up a cigarette, and of course the nurse gets her mom's necklace, and Longshot is like crying because he's so happy. So it's a happy issue. And so Merry Christmas here, and Wolverine gives Allison her motorcycle. She really wanted it, and so yeah, this is pretty much it. And so Rogue is going to go up to Gateway and give him a flute. And so she leaves, or they shake hands here. He has her sit next to him, and then he plays the flute. And it concludes. It's a nice issue. I just decided not to read everything because these sometimes when it's issues like this that there's so much exposition and all that kind of stuff, it's just instead of reading everything, that's when I can just sort of narrate. So this was one of those. So next issue, Dressed for Dinner. So Uncanny X-Men 230 by Chris Claremont and Marc Silvestri with Joseph Rubinstein. Like and subscribe, and I do thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.